What the fuck is up, y'all? It is Higher Point of View, your West Coast Packerbacker, here to discuss or to talk about Nathaniel Hackett. Packers offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett has been hired by the Denver Broncos. So, we got to wave bye-bye to Nathaniel. But we wish you the best in your future endeavors. Hold up. This OG Kush right here, I got it from a little independent grower. I don't know. We'll see if I fuck with him or not. It seems okay. But I like original names. OG Kush, Blue Dream, Sour Diesel, shit like that. Now you got so many names with the weed out here. We don't know what the fuck we smoking. They come up with new names every day. What happened to the originals? But anyway, we like to wish him the best in his future endeavors. So let me just tell you what this means. Number one, this means that we're good. And we've been good. Because normally this happens after Super Bowl runs. But we've been so good that we've kind of been on a Super Bowl run but didn't win a Super Bowl. But normally when your team either wins the Super Bowl, probably wins 2 in a row, or just, wins the Super Bowl, other teams start looking. They take away your players. They overpay them for... Because, again, we know it's the NFL. You get too much praise when you win, too much blame when you lose. It is a team sport. But, yeah, once teams start winning Super Bowls and shit like that, their staff gets picked apart by the other teams in the NFL because they know they see a trend coming, a winning trend. So, again, I hope y'all motherfuckers is over it already. It normally takes me a week. Tomorrow the other games will start and nobody will be thinking about the Packers anymore. They're not going to be talking about us anymore. No shit like that. So, I hope y'all still hanging in there over this devastating, disappointing loss. But this just shows that we know what the fuck we're doing. Matt LaFleur is a good coach, and also he's a good hirer because he did hire Joe Barry last year, and look what he did for us. He hired Nathaniel Hackett, who the media and people were talking about. That's why I tell y'all motherfuckers, stay away from the media. Don't you remember when LaFleur got hired, how we got fucking ragdolled in the media, how we should have did this, we should have done that, we should have got Josh McDaniels? Well, it's working out now, isn't it? So that goes the same with this. I literally heard Skip Bayless say, Nathaniel Hackett, I remember reporting on his dad. And yes, he is the son of the great Paul Hackett. But for Skip to not say anything congratulatory to him for getting the Packers offensive coordinator job after leaving Jacksonville, all they did was talk about the record in Jacksonville and how bad it was. Actually, he took Blake Bortles to the AFC Championship. So Nathaniel Hackett is not that bad, and it also shows that another NFL franchise is going to give him full control and, all the head, basically the head of the team. He's the head coach now of the Denver Broncos. And we already know what they're going to tie into this. And it makes sense because one thing Aaron likes is he'll go to a different team for somebody he respects or somebody who he has familiarity with. And, all the reports about this Pittsburgh, him trolling all the time on the Pat McAfee show wearing Pittsburgh-related shirts. He said, he didn't pretty much say he'll go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it's an organization that's well followed. It's a top 5 organization in my eyes. And, if he's going to go somewhere, he's not going to go to the Jets or nothing like that. And it's an AFC team. So if we do end up trading Rodgers, it's going to be to an AFC team, a la Brett Favre when we traded him to the Jets and his ass went to Minnesota the next year and tortured us for a year. But, yeah, again, man, that's going to tie into Rodgers. Is he going to go there or not? And believe it or not, their defense wasn't the problem last year as far as the Denver Broncos. It was an offensive problem. Teddy just couldn't keep it going. He had some flashes, some good games, but he just couldn't keep it going the whole year. And their receiving core, honestly, is really top-notch. Courtland Sutton, we'll get into the Broncos another time, but we're just thinking, well, fuck it. Courtland Sutton, KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, man, that's a nice 1-2-3 punch. I think it's up to, par with ours, especially ours next year because we might be missing out on a few big players. And also, we'll talk about free agency some other time because everybody seems to be a genius and everybody seems to know that what they're talking about. And yes, it is true. The Packers have no money, but Russ Ball is the magic wizard of motherfucking salary caps, and he's going to make us, competitive. You already heard Rodgers say he's not trying to do a rebuild, and nor do we should because we haven't. You rebuild after You just have very, very bad seasons, or you win the Super Bowl. That's all you rebuild for. You don't rebuild when you're in the middle. You know, you just need a couple more pieces. You don't rebuild when you have everything, which we pretty much have right now. And we're going to lose out on some people, but we also were fortunate enough to find some people who we might be able to pay a little lower. Also, people who might take a hometown discount, just like people did last year. So let's not underestimate that. Motherfuckers just love to play in Green Bay. It's hard to get them there because of how they think about the place before, you know, the code, and it's just in the middle of nowhere. But once people get there, they love it. Why? Because ain't nothing to do but play football and get better. There's no city distractions like Vegas. Motherfuckers running over, crashing into people, killing them, or motherfuckers having speeding tickets. I'm not trying to, you know, be desensitive to it, but that's what the fuck is going on. You ain't gonna see too much of that happening in Green Bay. So, you know, and even at time Zadarius got pulled over with some of the players in the car and had a reeking weed smell, the cops still let him go. You know what I'm saying? But they just had to report to the NFL and do this and that. They didn't take none of them to jail. So, you know, I hear that it's a city. Hey, they gave A.J. Dillon the key to the city, not to Green Bay, but to Door County, you know, which is right next door. So, you know, when players come there, Charles Woodson didn't want to come here at first, and then he came here and seen what it was all about. It's just one of those things, you know. First thing people think about is the weather. They don't want to play with it. They don't want to live in it. But, you know, they become used to it. Not used to playing at Lambeau in the playoffs when it's lower degrees, but whatever. We ain't going to go there right now. But again, congratulations to Nathaniel Hackett. And one key thing that I think that Rodgers could possibly go over there, if that were to happen, is he always mentions Nathaniel Hackett's packages. Like before every game, not right before every game, but the week of that they find out their opponent, or, you know, they know their opponent because they're on the schedule. Nathaniel Hackett has a PowerPoint playlist of how he wants his offense to perform against his team. And he's a big fan of Austin Powers Gold member. So that's why the last 3 years, the Packers team was calling the red zone the gold zone. Not only because we got there a lot, but Nathaniel Hackett, he influenced the whole team to just change their mindset about scoring in the red zone, and he called it the gold zone for his love of Gold member, which I love that movie too. I used to watch that shit all the motherfucking time. But yeah, all this means is that we're good. And now Matt LaFleur has another big decision to make. I mean, you know, he needs to make a special teams decision, which is going to happen. That's inevitable. But he also has to make a decision on who's going to be the offensive coordinator next. Hopefully somebody can keep it as fresh every week. You know, as Nathaniel did, he's a happy kind of, he's just a happy guy all around. So, you know, even on his bad days, he's the guy who's going to make you smile during practice and stuff like that. And that's hard to duplicate. But Matt LaFleur already said his first instinct is to check within, see if maybe he could promote, you know, a certain person to be the offensive coordinator, which I think would be Adam Stenavich, the offensive line coach, or Luke Getsy, who has a really good relationship with Aaron Rodgers. So I told you the pros, you know, or really the cons about Nathaniel Hackett leaving us, you know, because he's so good, and the reasons that we kept him and, you know, we're losing out. But another pro to this would be, you know, it's a new offense. It's a new idea. It's not a new offense, but it's a new idea. So our division, or most of our opponents, they're kind of familiar with Nathaniel Hackett. He's been around for a while, and they played him in Jacksonville. So we're going to get a new fresh mind in there to hopefully outguess some of these other coaches, because even Nathaniel couldn't outguess them in the, I was about to say, NFC Championship. We didn't even fucking make it to that in the divisional round. But anyway, good shit, bro. Happy trails, and I wish you all of luck, unless you are playing the Packers, which isn't as often. That's why we love it when you go to another conference. It's easier to root for you, and, you know, really nothing you do has anything to do with us unless we're playing similar opponents or we meet up in the Super Bowl. So, Nathaniel Hackett, congratulations for repping the pack for 3 years, and you got a motherfucking job out of it. Now look at this. You got the McVay tree. Hey, Matty LaFleur about to start his own tree. You know, he's getting people head coaching jobs. And also the Bears is all in our ass. They've been trying to interview some of our coaches too, but good to see y'all motherfuckers. Shout out to all y'all out there. Keep on fucking with me. We're going to drop videos throughout the offseason. This is going to be a drama-filled offseason. As you know, it's already starting now. And again, just you guys, watch the media. Don't look at mainstream media if you really don't have to. You know, they're toxic, especially when it's about our team. For everything else, it's cool. But if it's about our team, there's enough outlets out there for you guys to go via YouTube, fucking anything. Twitter, there's a lot of good Packers material out there that you guys can listen to every day that won't be biased, critical, but won't be biased. You know, I listen to some people who just call it down the middle. Sometimes maybe a little too much. So I'll end you with that. I'll end you with this. Again, shout out to everybody again. Thank you for watching these motherfucking videos. Like, subscribe if you haven't, and all that good shit.